Hi, good day all of you. Welcome to our session. Welcome to our channel Intelligible Tutorials. In the today's session, I would like to give the introduction and the specific things regarding the vector weighting. In the previous classes, we have seen the statistical indexing and what are the various types of the statistical indexing. See, in the statistical indexing, again, it is divided into 4 different techniques. The one is probabilistic weighting, Bayesian model, vector weighting, and neural net models. We have completed the probabilistic weighting, Bayesian model, neural net models in our previous videos. Please just go through that. And now we are going to talk about the one of the important term of the statistical indexing, that is called as the vector weighting. So what are the contents are there in the vector weighting? Now we are going to see. So first of all, before going to the vector weighting, I would like to give the introduction of the statistical indexing once again. What is the meaning of the statistical indexing? The indexing of the items can be done based on the occurrences, on how many times they are occurring in that particular document. Based on that, the occurrences of the items can be calculated with the help of some statistical measures. Okay, and the statistical measures also domain searchable measures and domain searchable values, or we can say those are nothing but the domain specific words. Okay, now directly we will go to the vector weighting. Again, this particular vector weighting is again divided into 6 different types. Okay, so the first one is simple term frequency algorithm. What it will do, what are the various contents in it, and next one inverse document frequency, and next one signal weighting, discrimination value, problems with weighting schemes, problems with vector model. These are the various kinds of types of vector weighting. So each and every method having its own things, its own concepts, its own advantages. What are they? Now we are going to see. So again, vector weighting is divided into 6 different types. Okay, here I have listed the types of the vector weighting. Simple term frequency algorithm, inverse document frequency, the same what I have typed here. Here I have listed them. Signal weighting, discrimination value, problems with weighting schemes, and problems with the vector model. What are the problems occurring with both weighting schemes and as well as the vector model? Now we are going to see all these things. Okay, so what is the first thing of the vector weighting? Okay, so what is the vector weighting actually? It is one of the earliest statistical approaches of the IRS systems used at the Cornell University. Okay, so vector means what? It is implemented using the vector model, vector weighting, and it is based on the vector model. What is a vector actually? The vector is one-dimensional set of values just like an array, where the order position of each value is fixed and represents the particular domain. Okay, the semantics of every item is represented as the vector. Whatever item is there, that can be represented its own semantics in the form of the vector. And vector is a linear set of values, or one-dimensional set of values we can say, where each position is fixed here itself and represents particular domain or particular semantics of that particular item. Okay, this is called as the vector weighting, and where it was used in Cornell University the first, and this is completely based on the vector model. Next, in information retrieval system, each position in the vector typically represents a processing of the token of the item or whatever it is, and this vector approach to the domain values in this vector approach follows 2 approaches to the domain of the values of the vector. One is the binary, another one is weighted. Again, this vector weighting is following 2 different kinds of the schemes, 2 different kinds of the values. One is the binary, another one is weighted. Okay, so what is the binary approach? In binary approach, the domain contains the value of 1 or 0 if it is existing or not. If at all it is existing, it can be represented as 1. If at all it is not existing, simply it can be represented as 0. In the weighted approach, the domain is typically set of all real positive numbers. That means, what is the weight of the item? How much completeness it is existing, partially existing or really existing. So what is the weight of the item? Like that, the real value will be maintained for each and every item, not the binary value. It maintains some kind of the real values in the vector weighting. So vector weighting again follows the processing of the items in the domain values of the vector as to the binary and as well as weighted. In the binary, it maintains only 2 values, either 0 and 1, whereas the vector weighted, it maintains some kind of the real positive values. Okay, so this is nothing but the first option of the vector weighting. Okay, so this is the first introduction of the vector weighting. Now we are going to talk about the first term of the simple term frequency algorithm of the vector weighting. What is the simple term frequency algorithm? What are the contents of it? What it will do? Now we are going to see. Okay, this is the simple term frequency algorithm. In both weighted and unweighted approaches, the automatic indexing process implements an algorithm which determines the weight of each and every item. Okay, so here just now we have discussed vector weighting implements both approaches. One is weighted, another one is unweighted. The unweighted is nothing but binary approach. Okay, so in the both approaches, the automatic index process implements an algorithm. This algorithm is nothing but simple term frequency algorithm. Then here weight to be assigned for each processing item. Okay, in a statistical system, the data potentially available for calculating the weight. Okay, so normally this weight term frequency of the algorithm calculates the term frequency of the existing item, how many number of the times the particular item is existing. So this is nothing but the term frequency. The frequency of occurrence of each and every item will be calculated with the help of some measure. That measure is called as term frequency. Okay, so this term frequency again divided into various number of the times. Number one is total term frequency. Number two is document frequency. What is the total term frequency? The frequency of occurrence of the item, how many number of the times it is existing the totally in the database, that can be treated as the total term frequency, and the number of the times that particular document in that particular that particular term is existing in the different kinds of the documents, that is called as the document frequency. The same term is existing in multiple number of the documents, that can be counted as the document frequency. So what is the term frequency? The occurrence of the term, okay, so within the database, and total number of the terms that is existing within the database. And next one, how many number of the times that is existing is nothing but so how many number of the times that is existing in the various kinds of the documents, that is called as document frequency. Okay, so like that the various kinds of the term frequencies can be calculated by using the simple term frequency algorithm. Number one, TF. Number two, TOTF. Number three, DF. TF stands for term frequency. Okay, so how many times the frequency occurrence of the processing token of an existing item. And the next one is nothing but the total term frequency, and final one is nothing but the document frequency. All these things can be perfectly calculated by using the simple term frequency algorithm. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the inverse document frequency. What is the inverse document frequency algorithm? The weight assigned to an item should be inversely proportional to the frequency of occurrence of the database. Okay, whatever weight assigned to the algorithm, that will be inversely proportional to the frequency occurrence or term frequency of the database. So weight is inversely proportional to the term frequency of the algorithm, and this can be perfectly calculated with the help of inverse document frequency. And this measure is called as the inverse document frequency. Okay, this can be calculated by using this algorithm. The next one we are going to describe is nothing but signal weighting. Okay, so what is the thing is there in the signal weighting? Now we are going to see in the signal weighting. Here we are going to talk first of all what are the things are there in the IDF. That is nothing but inverse document frequency. In that inverse document frequency adjusts the weight of the processing of an item based on the number of the items containing in the terms of the existing of the item. But this does not it does not take into the consideration of frequency distribution, okay, of the processing of the item. IDF just maintains the weight of the item, and that particular weight is directly inversely proportional to the this weight is inversely proportional to the frequency of occurrence of the database. Okay, but the frequency distribution is not taken into the consideration in the IDF, inverse document frequency. Whereas signal weighting will take the consideration of frequency distribution of the processing token. Okay, that will take in care of the frequency and weight, but the signal weighting can take in care of the frequency distribution also. Okay, that is the thing in the signal weighting. The distribution of the frequency of the processing tokens can ability the rank of the items. So whenever we talk about the frequency distribution, that will also relates to the ranking of the items. So we can rank the items with the help of some 0 to 9 numbers. 0 is the low ranking and 9 is the high ranking. Okay. For example, we have taken two different words, pen and write. These are collectively found 5 times, but both the terms are found in total 50 times in the 5 times. Each and every term individually it is existing in a pen along with the write is found in 5 times, but individually these terms both can exist as 50 number of the times in the database. But 5 times is nothing but pen along with the write. That means when we take it care into the consideration of the precision, this will works. Frequency distribution always works with the precision only. So precision means what? Exact matching, same matching. So signal weighting is one of the vector weighting approach. Finally, it follows the frequency distribution of the algorithms and it can affect the ranking of the algorithms. Here one example of the ranking that I am talking about here. Pen along with the write are found in 5 number of the times, whereas pen and write individually found in 50 number of the times. Okay. So that means this ranking will affect. Okay. So whenever you take into the consideration of the precision only, this ranking will work, and this ranking will be affected by the frequency distribution of the signal weighting used. Okay. So this particular ranking always depends upon the frequency distribution. This is in the signal weighting. And the next one we are going to discuss about is nothing but discrimination value. What is the discrimination value? It is nothing but to create a weighting algorithm based upon the discrimination value of the item. Okay, so what this discrimination value will find? To achieve the objective of finding the relevant items, normally we have to discriminate among the items. The more R items are appear same, but it is harder to identify the items which are discriminated with each and every one. So we find a discrimination value among the items. It is also one of the weighted approach. One item is how many times it is discriminated with the other kind of the items. What is the meaning of the discrimination? Just a differentiation among the items. It uses 3 measurements. The first one is nothing but I is the discrimination value of the each item, average similarity I, and discrimination similarity I. By using these values, the each and every item can be discriminated with another item in how many ways is calculated with the help of the I and the help of the average sim I with the help of the discrimination similarity I. Like that it will calculate. So far we have completed the various kinds of the vector weighting types. That is nothing but simple term frequency we completed, and inverse document frequency we completed, signal weighting we completed, and as well as the discrimination value also we completed. In the coming videos, we discuss about the problem with weighted schemes and problem with vectors. These two complete our vector weighting schemes. For more videos, please subscribe my channel, Intelligible Tutorials. Thank you.